Plaintiff Aisha Randall says the defendant is her sister, and the defendant's house is like a zoo. Aisha says the defendant's children are disrespectful, and it's caused problems in their relationship, and she's suing her sister for a bail bond. Defendant Tihara Randall says she and Aisha are like oil and water because Aisha thinks she's better than everyone. Tihara admits that she went to jail after getting in a physical fight with her daughter, and Aisha paid her bond, but the charges were dismissed, so Tihara refuses to pay.
Start with you.
Well, my sister, first of all, I love her very, very dearly, Your Honor, but she runs her home a little bit different than I do. Her house is more like the zoo, and in terms of...
Do you have a lot of animals?
Your Honor, there is always something going on there. There is intense fellowship between the people on a regular basis.
These people?
Yes.
You're calling everybody that comes to our house animals. Which type of animal?
Gorilla.
Gorillas, snakes,
Gorillas.
dogs.
Cats walking on the counter.
Because she's nasty, just say that.
No.
She's not nasty?
No,
she
I
clean
wouldn't
the
call
house?
her nasty. No, I wouldn't call it because I eat
She keeps a clean house.
Yeah, I wouldn't call her nasty because I eat her food. So
You nasty, that's all. A woman's food and she has a zoo in the house.
It's just busy.
Do you
there.
have actual animals?
I have a cat.
Okay. How's your relationship been as
Actually,
sisters?
it's not bad. It could be better though because of the disrespectful children. It has somewhat caused a wedge between her and I. So it just needs to be a little bit better, but her children are very disrespectful.
How many?
She has 4 children, but it's really more so the youngest one. I think she's 18 now, and she's the reason that we are
How do you
here.
know this? You see it? She
Yeah,
tells you?
well, let me tell you one incident that happened, Your Honor. Every year on the 4th of July, people will come back to my home to watch the fireworks show. I told my sister, I said, your daughter cannot come here. And she said, okay, fine. Her daughter texts me
troubled.
very much.
Did she ever steal from you?
Oh, no, she don't get
What
close
has she
enough to
done
steal.
to you then?
She cursed
Oh,
me out.
bougie auntie.
No.
You are. You know,
Nah, Your
come
Honor.
to my home every 4th of July. You got your outfit on, $1,000 outfit. That's her. She had it, but I, on the other hand, go ahead. She never stolen from you. What is the daughter? You should help this troubled young niece. What has she done to you?
She cursed me
ban
out.
her from your house.
She cursed me out via text, basically stating she did not want to come to my home.
Yeah, because she's been banned
Yes.
by a bougie aunt.
Yes. And also, she's very disrespectful to my sister, which I don't tolerate. I
What
don't
have you
like.
seen? Give me some examples.
She curses at her mother. She has fought her mother, and I do not respect children who are disrespectful, especially to my sister.
All right, let me hear from you.
Well, this is my sister, of course, and we're like oil and water. She thinks that she's better than everybody. She treats my kids like her kids.
What makes you think she feels that way?
Because of my youngest daughter.
How does that make her feel she's better than everybody?
Oh, she just act like she's better than everybody.
How? How does that, tell me how that occurs?
Like you
Acting
said,
like-
bougie.
That doesn't mean you're acting like you're better than other people.
Yeah.
That commonly means that you have a big sense of pride in your accomplishments and in the things you have. And you walk and talk and live that pride out. And there's nothing wrong with that. People say you're bougie. All right, thank you. That's a compliment. That doesn't mean looking down, the common reference. And that's what a lot of folks who don't want to handle their business, they look at the other folks handling their business and say, oh, you bougie. No, I ain't bougie. I'm just taking care of business and trying to achieve the top levels of society in the most cultivated way. That's, in my opinion. So you all think she's bougie. You think she believes she's better than everybody, and that's because of the way she carries herself. Unless you can give me some examples of her thinking she's better than everyone. Can you give me any examples? Did she say to someone, I got this and you don't have that? I look like this and you look like that. You got any of those examples?
No.
So you just assume she feels she's better than everybody because she has gone in the direction that many people go in who are living in poverty, and some folks stay trapped or are living a certain lifestyle, and some folks get out. So let's clarify that, because that happens so often, particularly in our community, when one escapes the ghetto and gets a education and becomes cultivated in their way of life. And we like to say, oh, she thinks she better. No, she just want to be better for themselves, not to be better over you. So I want to clarify that, so if those watching, you don't feel that these folks feel better than you. Bougie doesn't mean they're better than you. It just mean they want to be bougie like her. Talk big, act big, and probably is big. Go ahead. You all believe she's bougie, but what about your daughter disrespecting you and her?
Well, me and my daughter got into it, and her little friend called the police and they took me to jail.
When?
This happened last year in May.
Okay. You and your daughter got into it.
Yeah, we got in a physical altercation.
Over what?
I sent her to the store to get her baby some milk, and she was gone long as she came back and still didn't have the baby some milk. And yeah, we got into a physical altercation.
And who was the aggressor? You?
Yeah.
Okay, and how often would you be in a physical confrontation or altercation with your daughter over the years? All right, what about the verbal disrespect that she says she has observed on a regular basis? Your daughter does that to you?
Yeah, we have our differences.
Does she become disrespectful towards you?
Yeah, we
Okay.
yeah, we
Where
argue.
do you think
yeah.
that's from?
She started last time when she got pregnant. She was 16.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
the first time you all started arguing back and forth?
Yeah.
Frequently? Is that about right? 16? It wasn't as an adolescent. She wasn't doing that as an adolescent,
No, I
10,
don't-
12, 11. Okay. May have something to do with that, so let's move on. But if it happened, if it began then, it may have something to do with those dynamics. It may be your reaction to the pregnancy. She never got past it, still angry with you
Yeah.
about it. Who knows? So if you all want to resolve it, you might want to seek counseling. All right?
Okay.
Let me hear from you on the bail bond. Why are you suing her for that?
Because once I was informed that my sister was on her way to jail, it popped up on social media, and my niece, which is her oldest daughter, who lives in a different state, called me, and she said, Auntie, my mommy's on her way to jail. I immediately start calling the bail bondsman. I found out where she was, went and got her out, posted bond, and the bond was like $3,500, and then at the time we did pay a portion towards it, but now the balance that's due is $2,800. She did make a few payments on it, but she basically stated that she won the case. She's not paying any more on it.
Okay. And let me once again, because I'm so impressed with you, and tell you you're a good example of excellence.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You present yourself very well. And so I want to thank you. A lot of times folks come in my courtroom, they don't present themselves well. I'm just proud to see that you're an example of excellence, not bougie. When you say bougie, say excellence.
Thank you.
What do you want to tell me about the bond?
When it was dismissed, I said I wasn't paying nobody. That was just,
Okay. Charges were dismissed?
Yes, they were dismissed, but the bail bondsman, they were calling
Who
us
has
bail
the contract? Typically, if it's through a bail bondsman, that doesn't affect the debt. In states and counties which you pay the court for your bail, for example, the judge will say $10,000 bail, 10%. Then you pay $1,000. Then you get the $1,000 back when the case has been concluded, whether you're acquitted or found guilty. On the other hand, $10,000 at the bail bondsman, he might say, well, give me your car as collateral. Or he'll say, sign over the title as collateral and I'll give you the money. Then you give him the money, you go bail her out with the bail bondsman's money, you don't get that money back. Wow. Bail bondsman, you don't get it back. City and state courts, for the most part, you do get that money back. So who has the contract? Because typically you don't get the money. Let me see it, please.
I do have the
You don't get the
contract
money
for the
back from a bail bondsman, and does not matter whether you're acquitted or found guilty. Let me see your acquittal papers as well. And so how many days did you spend in jail?
I think it was a day.
Okay. And they did charge you?
Yeah, but it was dismissed.
Okay. You had a trial?
No.
Okay. How was it dismissed?
Well, I went before the judge and I explained what happened, and he said basically he didn't really want to voice his opinion about the case. He was going to let the DA take care of it, so the DA talked to me. They sent me to anger management class for one day, and when I went back to court after I did the anger management class, it was dismissed.
All right. So the prosecutor believes you did it, otherwise they wouldn't have sent you to anger management. And what happens, that's an alternative sentencing policy you were beneficiary of, and that's, in most states have that. And that is, instead of putting the person in jail and wasting state money and taxpayer money because that's a low-level crime, they instead say go through anger management. So the premium due, said the bond, is the defendant's relief. The fact that the defendant may have been improperly arrested or his or her bail reduced or his or her case dismissed shall not obligate the return of any portion of said premium. No funds will be issued after the defendant has been released from custody.
Wow.
Did you see this? All right, you're not answering as to whether you've seen it, but it says it. Okay. Have a good day. The judgment for the plaintiff so that you cannot be left with her bill.
I'm just glad that it's all over and I won the case, so I'm definitely going to take care of the bond because I love my sister.
I'm glad it's behind us. And maybe that 56 miles, it can get a little closer between us.
Aw, it's my sugar.